So just a quick update. The week is not great. Monday we didn't do any jobs. We stayed here, which actually was a good thing. I've chased some unpaid invoices, and by the end of the day, I think we received about £750 or so. Be a bit more on it, do the credit control more often, but just there wasn't that many outstanding. Which brings us to Tuesday. Tuesday I had a job booked, managed to get something on Monday. For Tuesday it was 3 ladders going from Clacton or Southend? No, Clacton. Going from Clacton to HA3 postcode, wherever that is, 190 miles, I think. We got there delivered really quickly. Parked up from 10:30 to I think 1:30. There was a lot of bidding for stuff going home way, north, south, any direction. Didn't get a single call. Just the jobs were disappearing. The ones that were staying were ridiculous. There was one going from Slough to Manchester, I think, 200 miles, and the comment said, if you bid £90, we'll pay it in cash on collection. Which led me to believe the area is not great, so I decided to head home. On the way back I saw some jobs heading this way. I kept bidding and nothing. Got home at 3 o'clock, fairly early. So yeah, we had 2 record weeks, and this week is not looking great. Good morning. Wednesday, 6:15. We got a 7 a.m. collection locally, and then we're gonna go to TW5, which is Heathrow way, I believe. Only 110 miles, but early on. I'm hoping the traffic's not gonna be too bad on the A12 25, but we shall see. Hello, I'm in Heathrow, and the Boxer is broken. Apparently it has no brakes, so it looks like I'm going to be heading home empty. It's a shame because it's 10 o'clock, but we need to fix the Boxer. Good morning, it is Thursday. We had a little job from Colchester to CM20 Harlow, which turned out to be a hospital. But unlike normal hospital jobs, this was to a building site. Building site next to hospital, just still hospital premises. So that was a weird job because they literally called me yesterday, 3 o'clock, asking if I want to do it. I was like, I have nothing better to do. Yeah, I'm in Harlow, and been here for 15 minutes. So I only just started quoting, seeing what's about. Now, I think I should mention what happened yesterday. So, yesterday I had a lovely job from Ipswich to Heathrow, just outside of Heathrow. And I loaded at 7 a.m. and about 40 minutes later, my driver calls me saying, brakes are playing up. I was like, okay. Go back to depot, because he already loaded, managed to do 2 deliveries, and the brakes were playing up. So I've asked him to go back, and 2 minutes later he called me saying there is no brakes. Which sounds fun, especially when I was crashing to go to Heathrow. The Google Maps were showing me all sorts of diversions because traffic on A12 and 25. A120, just any road was red. So what happened was he parked it up. I called up so the Boxer is doing like a multi-drop for a big Baltic Sky store. I called up the office, said van doesn't work. They managed to sort out someone else to come to the van, take the goods, and carry on the tour. Which good, well, nothing to worry about. I delivered, found a job to Ipswich, a ton of bricks. I was so tempted to get it, but by the time I managed to get around to opening the job, it was gone. So drove back empty. Before that, I've called a mechanic. The usual mechanic said that they can go out, assess, check what the issue is, and maybe try and fix it, but probably won't be able to. So it would be cheaper to get it on a tow truck and take it to the workshop. Which I was like, fine, well, let me call someone else. Turns out that the van broke really close to a friend of mine who came up on his land brake to see what the issue was. So sort of went back just before 1 o'clock, collected the driver, went back to the van, found out that the brake pad fell out, which obviously not safe to drive. Managed to get the van into the workshop, and then that was it. No more work for this week for the van, because parts need to come and all sorts. And at 5 o'clock I had a phone call, it's all fixed. Got a new brakes, new discs, new pads, some bits for the clips. All sorted, but the driver already took today off and tomorrow, so. I was just about to record a video saying how bad this week is. That first time in this year we are below £1,000 in revenue. Sort of last 2 weeks were 2.5 or so. The things were not looking great. It's Friday, by the way. I've done one little job, and I just got a really big job from Ipswich to Edinburgh, 400 miles, 6 a.m. Saturday delivery. So I'm going to try and do 1 or 2 more local jobs and collect it at 3 o'clock. And then, I'll keep you posted. I've not done a journey this far yet, so it should be fun. Hello! Today is Friday. We've done 1 little job, Colchester to Ipswich, and now 3 o'clock we have loaded for Edinburgh. So we've got 415 miles or so to go. First big trip. I think I'm gonna try and drive as far north as possible, hopefully past Leeds, then take a break 2-3 hours, because the delivery was meant to be for 6 a.m. Now they changed it to 7. I've checked it and it's a 24-hour depot, so let's see how it comes. I'll try to be before 7 definitely. Because it should be fun. Now that you can see, we just got to a rest area just north of Carlisle, and they said it's free, no charge, no tax. Tomorrow's a cheat day. So far we've done 300 and something miles. We are about an hour and a half away from the delivery, which means we could sleep for 6 hours. It's almost 10 o'clock. 10, 11, 12. We're probably gonna try and leave this place around 3. be at the depot 4:05. If they're gonna turn us down, we're gonna go up and fill with fuel, have another nap, and yeah, at least that's the plan. Wait, speaking of the diet, this is what we're gonna have for dinner. Some fish. I rushed home, didn't have time to prepare any other meat, so some meat, some leaves, and yeah. Well, welcome to the summary of week 17. Yeah, it wasn't a great week because at the beginning of the week, Sprinter wasn't working. I ended up staying at home and doing some filing and accounting, which turned out to be good for business, but not great for in terms of revenue. And then there was a lot of empty trips back. I'm not quite confident in staying out just yet. Certain areas of the country I've been to for a number of hours, and there was absolutely no work. So even though I'm doing empty miles, I'd rather go back home where I know I can get some decent rates, some decent jobs, as opposed to risking and waiting for God knows how long before something comes up. So that's sort of the logic at the moment. And this brings us to Friday, which, with the Boxer breaking down and a low work volume in general, we were looking at a first week in ages where the business will lose money. So typically, we sort of track the numbers based on like the insurance, fuel, and sort of the driver wage, because I'm sort of taking money off the top, whatever's left. And so looking back, the only time we were in a position of losing money is the last week of December and the first week of January, because you still have to pay. Like the insurance doesn't end in January or December, so there's still the period you have to pay for. We still have to pay for the keeping up of the funds, as well as some fuel, because we did end up doing some little runs on day or two of those weeks. And yeah, we're looking at losing money. That being said, obviously we probably are in a different positions. We try to have £500 every week of profit, because that means I can comfortably take some money home, pay for where I live, and have money saved in a business. As I mentioned in the previous videos, we had 2 record weeks where the business profited over £1,000 every week of those 2 weeks. So we're not in a terrible position having a quieter week. This all brings me to Friday, because on Friday I've had one little job, and then there were 2 big jobs. One was to Grimsby and the other one was to Edinburgh. And to my surprise, I got the Edinburgh one. Normally people say that they quote some lower rates on a distance. We tend to go the other way and not get that many. It's my surprise that I went all the way to Edinburgh. The journey itself was not very exciting. Luckily, there was like low traffic. We just hit the perfect time. I mean, it was Friday. The weather was going to be okay, so I was expecting roads to be busy. I ended up going 300 miles on Friday. Slept for 4 hours, I think, 3 or 4 hours. The night heater stopped working, which was a nightmare. We think it was because I drove so much before. There must have been a pressure in the tank, and the small pump for the night heater just couldn't get any fuel to run, because the next morning the heater was working okay, and we tested it on the weekend, so it was working fine, so that must be the reason. Then woke up around 2 a.m, ended up going to the place. I was only 100 miles or so away, and showed up at 4. the guard said I'm booked for 6, so I need to be there at 5. 5 to 5:15. I was like, fine, whatever. Came back and he was like, great, park there, and then at 6 go to that office. I was like, couldn't you just... Fine, so another hour of waiting. I had my breakfast, unloaded the pallets, which was weird because we went to a big distribution place that only had ramps. Never seen a big warehouse with only ramps, but this was exception, I guess. So that meant I had to back up to the ramp, lower the tail lift, back even closer, and then chuck all the boxes off. Luckily there was someone to help, so the whole process from getting the paperwork to leaving the site was like 15 minutes. But it was just waiting and it took forever. But that brings us into a profit. With this job, we went over 4 digits and we turned profit. So overall, I'm very happy with that week. I mean, the Boxer broke brakes. When brakes stop working, it could have ended a lot worse, but luckily it was only on like a small estate, so the driver remained in control. And yeah, we are kind of looking forward to next week. However, I'm doing a truck day on Wednesday, so I will definitely not work much. We shall see how much. I'll find out next week, I guess, if we manage to turn profit.